Welcome back, everybody. This video is about, it's a case that it's in front of you, but you refuse to see it. Case in point. DOORDASH, Uber Eats, and the rest of them claim they are a technology-based app. They are not a delivery service business. So far, so good? Okay. Why do you have a delivery service fee? Come on, guys. Come on, guys. It's in front of you, but you refuse to see it. That's what this video is about. They're playing you like a deck of cards. If you claim you're a technology app, you're not a delivery service, why do you have a delivery service fee? Why don't you have a technology app fee? That's what you're claiming you are. You're a technology-based application. So make it correctly. Technology app fee. Why do you put a delivery service fee if you're not a delivery service? There you go. They're playing everybody. They're playing everybody, the system, the customers, the merchants, everybody. They're playing you like a yo-yo. Okay? Now, Torp said the following. What Torp said was, they train the customers not to tip. When did this start happening? And he's correct, by the way. He's very correct on that. But when and why did that happen? They're seeing what's going on with the economy. They're seeing that customers, the way they used to tip, they cannot tip like that anymore. So they don't want to feel bad placing an order and not putting a big tip. So the companies made it easier for the customers to make these orders. Oh, you don't have to tip $10 anymore. We'll have it set up in a way where the minimum is even lower than it used to be. Because they know a lot of these customers, they don't calculate. They always hit that average button of a tip, where the average button used to be higher, now the average button is lower. That's why you're seeing these $1 and $2 tips. There you go. So the businesses can make their money. Now, a lot of people can excuse that, saying that, well, you got to look at it at a business standpoint. Well, isn't the gig driver a business standpoint as well? Why can't the driver, who's also a business, why can they look at it at their business point of view as well? Oh, we open up a new can of worms here, huh? Aren't we? There you go. Especially with customers ordering from 10 and 15 miles away, when we know that they were not born in the gig economy, because the gig economy was around maybe 7 years. So they've been around before. They were making orders before the gig economy. They're well aware that it would not be possible to get a delivery from 10 and 15 miles away, because all the restaurants in all of the United States, they had a minimum distance. And they had their own drivers. And the minimum was like a 5-mile delivery radius. And in some cities, they'll have a 2-mile delivery radius, like New York City, in Queens. In Queens of New York, if anybody lives in New York, Pete from Pay to Drive can tell you. Ask Pete, who also lives, well, he lives in White Plains up in New York, but he knows what I'm talking about. And anybody else from New York or any other big city, they know exactly what I'm talking about. The privately owned business having their own drivers that go up to 2 miles. Some of them even 1 mile. 1 mile delivery radius. That's it. No more than that. So they're well aware. Now they're seeing, oh, I can live 15 miles away and I can place an order and have it delivered. But they only want to put in $1 or $2 tip and have this high expectations that a delivery driver is going to accept that, and it's going to benefit the driver as a business themselves. That's what they say. Independent contractor, they're in as a business. They are considered as a self-employed business. Look up the definition and explains it just like that. Now, I know some of you drivers are going to say, well, there's other drivers that take these orders. We understand that. But not all of them. These are new drivers that are doing this. When they oversaturate in the market, they oversaturate it with what? With veterans? No, with new drivers. But sooner or later, it might take them a week or a month, they'll figure it out that they're losing money and they're working to be in debt and they're working to be broke. Some of them will pick it up sooner or later. It's not going to last. It lasts for a little bit, and then when the new drivers learn that they're getting a shaft, they put a stop to it. And they start picking up good offers. Because we were new too. I was new. Pete from Pater Drive, he was new as well. Torp was new as well. We were all doing that in the beginning when we were new. We happened to start earlier compared to some other drivers, but we went through the same process. We were taking everything, and then we learned that we don't have to do that. We need to take orders that benefit us. It took us a little bit of time, not too long, but we figured it out. And what happens when people start figuring out that they're getting a shaft from taking these lowball offers? They stop taking them. Now, Kim's Side Money Plans, recently she made her latest video talking about what? DOORDASH is removing the feature where once you accept an order, you cannot unassign it. Why are they doing that if every order is getting picked up, if that's the case? It's cause and effect. It's cause and effect. If everything was getting picked up, DOORDASH will not have a need to do that action, to remove the unassigned feature. I don't have it yet, but sooner or later, I'll have that feature here as well. It just takes some time. The new features take some time. It will spread out slowly, but eventually it will go everywhere. Why is that if every order is getting delivered, we cannot unassign orders anymore with DOORDASH? Why is acceptance rate matters now with Uber Eats? They changed the terms of service. June 1st of 2025, acceptance rate with Uber Eats now matters. And you need to be in a certain tier to get better offers. But before that, it didn't matter. Why? Orders were getting picked up. And very few were not. But after May of Cinco de Mayo of this year, everything was going downhill with the economy. And a lot of offers were not getting picked up, even though drivers are claiming that, oh, they're getting delivered. Some of those offers are getting delivered, not all of them. And there was way too many lowball offers. All of them are not being delivered. So they are being hurt, and they're feeling the heat, and that's why they did changes. If it wasn't the case that everything is getting picked up, they wouldn't be making all these changes. Even with Instacart recently, they changed the terms of service. Uber Eats has done it. DOORDASH does it like there's no tomorrow. There's a cause and effect. Like I said, you might be seeing some new drivers are picking up these $2 offers going 10 miles. But sooner or later, they'll find out. Just like Aaron's gig. What did Aaron's gig told us in one of his videos recently? What did he say? He said that before, the new drivers, especially the immigration drivers that came in. They were new. They were picking up every offer. Didn't matter how much it was paying. But then later on, he says, I'm at the Walmart here in Chandler, and I'm seeing now these drivers, the illegals that used to be here and doing the Walmart Spark, they're not picking up any offer off the bat, just like that. They are cherry picking now. They learned that if you wait, the next offer could be extra dollars on the offer. So there you go. It was just a matter of time. So like I said, it might be going on for a little bit, where a lot of these offers are being delivered, all the bullshit offers. But sooner or later, the scale, it's going to change. And it did. That's why they're making all these changes in the terms of service and with certain features on the apps. There it is. It's right there in front of you, but you guys refuse to see it. Enough said. So with that, I'm going to conclude that. What we need to thank is we need to thank the customers. Because we all like to thank the companies. But the companies say they're not a delivery service. They're a technology app. So they're just a hub between the customer and the driver. Okay? But when it benefits the gig economy company, then they come out and say, oh yeah, we are a delivery service. When it doesn't benefit them, we're a technology app. There it is. The base pay, it's always been there the way it was. The customers are the ones that were tipping when the gig economy was coming out, and people were using only one app. And they were doing okay. And they were working and making money. Thanks to the customers that were tipping. And the economy being stable. So now that the economy has got to shit, customers are not tipping, a lot of them are picking up their shit. Where's the money that we were seeing before? We're still working with the same apps, right? It was DoorDash 7 years ago, and it's DoorDash today. It was Uber Eats back then, and it's Uber Eats today. It was Grubhub back then, and it's still Grubhub today. Where's the pay? When the tips are not there, what are you getting for pay from the companies? You're getting chicklets. So who do you thank? You thank the customers. But who do we thank today? We don't thank anybody. Because everything has gone to shit. Who is that to thank for? A lot of drivers out there working for charity right now. They're working for charity to get that platinum and diamond. They're paying for it out of their pockets. And when eventually, if it happens to work in their market being platinum, it will work. But if there's no platinum orders and diamond orders, and you get to that tier, they don't have any diamond orders to give you, what are you going to get? You're going to get whatever it's available. That's it. That's the bottom line. It's in front of you, but you guys refuse to see it. And those clown drivers that they're saying, oh, I'm doing great in my market. It's your market. It's your market. It's not everybody else's market. And you're not special. Because we can get any driver out there to go to your market, they'll make the same money. It's not because you are special. It's your market is different. Okay? You're not doing anything different than any other driver is doing in another market. Period. Just like I said with UDM. When UDM used to before turn on the DoorDash for one day, he'll make $20 to $25 an hour. Now, he'll make $9 an hour. And he's a veteran. And he knows the game. And he knows the tips and tricks. And still, all he got was $9 an hour for the whole day. Why do you think he's doing the catering apps? Why is he not staying with DoorDash? and Uber Eats. Because he found a better deal. He found what he's supposed to be doing as a gig economy driver is the catering apps. It's where he's getting paid of what he's supposed to be doing, what he's worth. What he's doing and what his worth is doing this type of job. And he's getting compensated for that. But he's not seeing that anymore with DoorDash and Uber Eats. That's it. The tables have changed. The game is rigged. The tables have turned. Now, if you're in a market, you don't have any catering apps, there is no catering service, you have to deal with what you got. That's all it is. But at the end of the day, more than 80% of what we make is on the customers. Remember that. And if you're not making 80% of that offer, when you see an offer, there's no tip in it, that means 80% of that offer is gone. And all they're paying you is about up to 20%, and that's all you're getting for that offer. That's how powerful it is, what a customer is on these apps. Because working in a W-2 in the private sector, paid hourly, you get your minimum wage. Even if the customer doesn't tip, you still get your hourly wage. Right? Yes or no? And they don't have orders going 10 and 15 and 20 miles away either, as a W-2 in the private sector. They go up to 5-mile radius. That's it. So who do we need to thank over here? And what was the most important? The tips are the most important thing. It's in front of you, but you guys refuse to see it. And a lot of these drivers out there, they want to praise the companies, the gig economy companies. No, you need to praise the customers. Now, what's going on now is the customers are being ignorant about the whole issue that's going on. They're misinformed. They think we get millions of dollars an hour. They think that without tipping, my order is still going to get delivered, maybe for a short period of time, but that's not going to last. And I bet you a lot of offers are not being delivered. Even though you're seeing some people taking the $2 and $3 offers going 10 miles, there's a lot more than that that are not being delivered. And that's why they're making all these changes. They're seeing some issues. There has to be a cause and effect. The cause is a lot of the orders are not being picked up because they're too low. And what's the effect of that? They're changing the terms of service and they're changing the features on the apps to make it more harder or to enforce drivers to do these lowball offers because they're losing a lot of these offers and not being delivered. But let me know you guys your 2 cents in the comments and I'll catch you guys later. Enough said.